what up? And we are back. We just talked about Odell Beckham being released from the Baltimore Ravens. We hope that Odell Beckham lands on his feet. We think that he's going to be a credit anywhere he goes. So, like I say, much prayers out to him. I know he'll find employment in the NFL, and hopefully he doesn't restructure his deal, not one dime. Going to go ahead and jump into the world of podcasting because the ranks of podcasting, they have a new podcaster. Yay. I know everybody says everybody's got a podcast, and the latest member to the podcast family is Lou Holtz. Yes, the Notre Dame Irish famous head coach Lou Holtz is the latest to go ahead and join the trend. Now, this story comes out of Football Scoop and Doug Samuels. So Lou Holtz, he announced on Twitter, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Lou Holtz does not have a Twitter. Somebody he knows in his family, or he's got a handler, is working his Twitter. Lou Holtz is not on Twitter. This man is 87 years old. If you ask any 87-year-old walking the streets about Twitter, they will look at you like you're crazy. So I know that's the first lie, which his show's got a rather interesting plot to it. It's going to be an intersection between sports and I guess drift off into the land of whatever it's going to be, because the tagline is Coaching America Back to Greatness. Yeah. I mean, first of all, good for Lou, good for him, good for his mental health, good for him having something to do throughout the day. Nobody likes to just sit idle. That's good that he has that kind of routine. He can go and see his grandkids and everything, and great grands now, because the guy's 87 years old. But talking to an 87-year-old guy for more than 10 minutes, nah, I'm not interested. And nobody else is either. And this isn't trash talk, but that dude has been retired from the game of football since 2004. So if he's been gone since 2004, what could he possibly have to say that is going to be intriguing? And again, I'm not talking trash on Lou. I'm just saying this guy is too old to be doing that. And when it gets to be like that, you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be a part of that. We'll get into more of this story from Doug Samuels and Football Scoop when we come back from a quick 20-second break from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Download the app or visit the good folks at your local Papa John's. Even order online. Papa John's, better pizza, better ingredients. Okay, so jumping back into the scoop here. I didn't know this, but that's pretty cool. President Trump gave Lou Holtz the Medal of Freedom. And that's pretty cool. He got to go ahead and meet the president. That's something that you want to share with your kids. I don't care which side of the aisle you sit on. Meeting the president is monumental. So good deal on that. I just looked at his list. Well, he's got Urban Meyer. He's going to talk to him. He's going to talk to Tommy Tuberville, and he's going to talk to Tim Brown. So that should be a pretty good, like I said, that should be a good discussion. But again, this dude is 87. And him being 87 years old, he stopped coaching in 2004. It's 2024. The nuances of the NFL game has changed. So I don't know what he could be sitting there talking about. And in God, I love it, but let's just put all our cards on the table. What do you want to talk about at 87? What do you want to talk about at 87 years old? You know, I just don't understand. The purpose of the podcast is not to promote Republicans, Democrats, white, black. I don't even know why that was in there. And these are Lou's words. Again, this is why you don't want to listen to an 87-year-old just have free range to go anywhere without any rails on the tracks. It's just to get people to make good choices. What people are you talking about? What people are you talking about? And who are you talking about? Come on, man. So we need to get back to teaching young people about obligation. What obligations are you talking about? Everybody has an obligation. I have an obligation to my wife and my kid and my son. Okay, I have an obligation to my family. I have an obligation to people who are in the studio. I have an obligation to at least try and put out the best information possible on the subject and not run out here half-cocked. That's why, in my opinion, if you have a 24-hour sports cycle, you're just making stuff up, because sports doesn't work like that. Information doesn't work like that. And then you have to check it, a cross-check against many different outlets. But my goodness, he's sitting here talking so vague. You know, we got to get people to make good choices. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Again, when you get down into talking down to people, people will tune you out. So you have to be specific in what you're saying and who you're saying it to. We got to get to teaching kids we got to get young people, kids, about obligation. What obligation do these kids have? If I'm 14, 15, and I'm going to school, chances are I got a part-time job. What are you talking about? What obligations does a 15-year-old have who's working part-time at a Culver's? Again, you got to make it specific. And how to help other people. How to help who? Who are you helping? How to make good choices. You just said good choices. And understand wherever you are in life, it's because of those choices you make. I don't understand what he's talking about. And this is the problem that you'll have frequently when you have seniors who are well into the golden age and at the final stage of expiration. They will start saying anything that comes to their mind. And if you say that, oh, this isn't Democrat or Republican, but then you dip into black versus white, I'm like, who thinks like this? And it's just incoherent psychobabble. And then finally you end it with, you know, wherever you are in life, it's the choices that you made. So that 15-year-old that's going to work part-time at Taco Bell, he made that choice. He made that choice to be born to some parents who were less than ideal, and he's coming up the ranks. He's keeping his head down. He's not a distraction at school. He made those choices. Again, it's what you say and how you say it. I know what you're pining at. The sad part is you're so incoherent, you're making it like you're shooting ducks in a gallery. If you want to go after youngsters and penalize them for just being impoverished, come on, Lou. That's a low blow. How about the accountability of people who try to derail youngsters from getting money at a sport that made you overtly wealthy? You see how that worked? I had to put you on the end of that, and then I made it specific to you. That's how you have to make these things. You can't speak in generalities. If you're speaking to prisoners, yeah, the choices that you made. Nobody told you to burn a house down. Nobody told you to go ham on a crowd with a weapon. Come on now. That's low-hanging fruit. Just got to get them to make good choices. Who? If you name your podcast Coach America Back to Greatness, that's not too far from Make America Great Again. It's an awful pun. That I'll give it. It's an awful pun. Again, I don't care what side of the aisle that you sit on. But if you're going to have a sports podcast, the first thing that you don't want to do is go political. So let me guess, after you target people who don't play sports, after you target the choices that they make that are bad, are you going to scrutinize the coaches? Because Urban Meyer was covering up wrongdoing by kids in Florida. Urban Meyer was at a bar and had pictures with young women all over him. Is he going to be forced to make good choices? Is he going to be forced to make good choices? You see how I did that? Again, Lou, I made that specific. I brought up something Urban Meyer did. I brought up the fact that that guy could still coach with impunity, and all the stuff that he covered up and nobody asked him about it at all. But somehow we want to take shots at youngsters and tell them what they need to do. So to me, the Lou Holtz show is in fact the equivalent of the old man saying, "Get off my lawn." We'll be back. We're just getting started. This is Big Vern, App Stu.